Hello, good evening, Facebook friends, to this very first live from my new home. Welcome in my new home. So I felt inspired to talk a bit about how healing might never feel done. It's something I've realized over and over again. And feel free to share your questions or comments or thoughts or insights on this topic as we go. When I started this journey of growth, of digging into myself, of getting to know myself in a deep way, facing my fears and all those things, I had this image that it would be like this wobbly travel, and maybe there would be this big mountain peak of, the hero's journey, the dark night of the soul, and then everything would be different. Then I'd be whatever, enlightened or free of pain or whatever we could think it would be. And I thought that for a long time, so that it would get more and more intense, and then there would be this peak experience, and then I would be free of all that. And as I was living my life, I started to realize that that moment was an imaginary thing, that actually it would never be done, that I would never get a moment where I would be done healing. And when I first realized that, I felt sad, and I felt a bit like, oh no, so this will never be done. And at the same point, I felt this deeper truth, or this deeper knowing that it's not about being done. It's not about being done. It's about getting better at the game. It's about getting better at holding space for myself and getting better at dealing with whatever wants to come through. And actually, the more I was doing this healing work on myself and this personal growth, transformation work, whatever you want to call it, that actually the more was coming through me. So it was not done. It was like the vessel that I felt I was getting stronger and bigger. So actually more came through. That was one realization. Another realization I felt is that like lately I've been doing a lot of inner work on family healing, on becoming completely peaceful with my past, with all that happened, and being free, and not being angry towards men or being angry towards relationships, but to really transform that and be free. And I've worked a lot with my inner kid. I worked a lot with my inner little one, and to the point where I felt totally free from my past, totally at peace with all the events that happened, and totally at peace, totally compassionate with, my ancestors. And the actual thing in my current life situation, is that my connection to, for example, my parents, to my direct ancestors, is amazing. It's better than ever, and I'm super grateful for that. And then I was there last week in this workshop where I was co-creating and doing this demo on a therapeutic a therapeutic somatic healing session, being the receiver of the session. And way before the session, I started to feel this sadness and this fear and this anger coming up towards this part that I felt healed. And I was surprised. And then as the demo came closer, I started to feel a bit nervous about, oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm going to receive this session, and there's a whole big group watching. What will come up? And as we went into the session, I just started crying so much. There was such big sadness coming out of me, and this little one, this inner person that just wanted to hide and wanted to be invisible and just completely shut out everyone, didn't want no touch, no nothing. And my inner grown-up part was so surprised. She was like, oh, we've worked on this. We've gone through this before. We've worked on all this. Why would this one come up? And as we were going through this, I started to realize that yes, my inner 4 or 5 year old might be at peace with everything that happened, but my inner 7, 8, 9, 10 year old is not. She's not done. So it seems like it's the same thing, the same process that I thought I was done with, but actually the flavor was a tiny bit different. There was more of a flavor of rebellion, of like, what the fuck are you doing? So the flavor was different. I started to realize it was another age part of myself that is now asking with my attention. And as I'm working with her, different shifts are happening. So again, the connection to my direct ancestors, to my parents and my brother, is changing, and also my feeling towards two relationships that ended in the form that they had, that I still have a lot of emotions about, or a lot of feelings about, a lot of projections and anger towards persons, is becoming softer again. There's more understanding, there's more softness. And maybe, maybe when this feels done, I'll go through the whole cycle again, but then from my 16-year-old perspective or 0-year-old perspective. So there is, and as we have all these age perspectives on so many events in our lives, it's probably going to take the rest of our lives to not even heal everything, because there's no time for it. We'll probably always be working on aspects that are not healed yet. And maybe that's a message that can be like, oh, so when will I be done? So I'll never be done. So what's the point? Well, the point is that it will get better every time, and we will get better at it. We will train this capability, this capacity of actually being with ourselves and our inner young ones, and training our inner grown-ups, or our inner observers, or our inner space holders, or our inner enlightened ones, or however you want to call them, but these calm, grounded parts of ourselves. We'll get better at being present throughout the experience, throughout the healing, throughout going through these waves, these waves of expansion and contraction, that we go through all the time. You might know you've got your extrovert days, you've got your introvert days. The same goes with all these emotional processes. So we get better at it, and sometimes you might not even notice that you're going through another wave, that you need your inner one, your inner guide to be there for your inner little ones, because you're getting so good at it. So I think that is, if there is a goal in this whole process, I guess it's not to heal everything and every little one and every age flavor that we have, because there'll always be something left. And there'll always be something new that we add to this pile, to this big tapas, this big smorgasbord of things that need attention and need healing and need love of us. There will always be new parts coming. We constantly have new experience in our lives to add to it, like relationships that start, relationships that end, cars that almost hit us, loved ones that we lose, kids that, there's always stuff adding to the pile, adding to this big smorgasbord, this big painting that we're working with. And there will always be these parts that come up because it's their time, because they need healing, like a splinter in your finger that wants to be pulled out. Sometimes they're not coming out, they're not ready yet. And then at some point it'll come out, and then you can actually reach it and take it out. And that will happen all the time with all kinds of processes and all kinds of parts of you. So yes, it might be that something comes up that you thought you were done with, and apparently you're not. This is another opportunity to go deeper with it, to train your inner healing, your inner healer, your inner shaman, to be there with you in the process. And you get better and better and better at it. At least this is my experience of life. So this is your Sunday night intuitive shamanic coaching right here from my new home to you. I hope it inspires. I hope it's like me holding your hand on your path for just a few steps. Because you're not alone. We're doing this together, and let's heal the world this way. Healing bits and pieces of ourselves, inspiring each other to keep walking this way and to keep growing, to keep going, to keep growing and to keep going. And let's support each other as we go. All right, take care, loves, and see you back soon.